Come on, can we make a forest fire? Just let's make a forest fire. Let's burn it. Birch. Everybody likes to burn birch, right? Here we go. Nice forest fire. You know what? Let's do more than that. Oh, there's a little bit of lava. No, I don't want just a little bit of lava. I want more than that. I want to see what we can do with a lot of lava. Well, I guess we're started. Let's see. Let's make some more. Here. Hi. Hello and welcome to a creative world where we're setting things on fire and making lava mountains or volcanoes, whatever you want to call it. Welcome to Creative. My son asked me to include a feature on Creative, so this is what we're looking at today. And one of the things many people do in Creative, because your character is more or less indestructible, is sooner or later, everybody has fun with lava and fire and burning things down and being a little destructive. One of the many, many things you can do in Creative. Run away, little cow, run away. Okay, one of the other many things you can do in Creative, because you have access to the full menu, and it will probably take me a minute to find it because I don't do this nearly as often. Oh, here we go. TNT. The other thing my son enjoys doing from time to time. I say that, but today he's building. Let's see what happens when we do this. Cool. Almost everybody wants to experiment and play with blowing holes in your world, burning things down. And that's one way you can use Creative. Because after all, this is a game. You can blow things up. And then you can just start a new world and do it again and again and again and again and again. That was neat. Lava flying everywhere. Okay. Hello. Hello. Where did my eyes go? The blinking character blinks too long sometimes. There we go. Hello and welcome. This is Intrigue. Welcome. We're doing another episode of Minecraft Basics on the creative style of Minecraft. I hope you enjoy it, and let's take a look and see what we can get into here. one of the many things that you'll find as you go into creative is that, let's go and do that. We'll show coordinates. And we'll just pick a seed here. Let's do something that has a little bit of flat land. There we go. Alright, so we'll do that to start with. Now, I've actually done this quite a lot because I'll show you right here. Once you get into the game and you go back, you can adjust the personal game mode for yourself and other players who come in. So you can adjust yourself to creative, but the second or third person who joined, they can be creative or they can play in survival. And I know this because my son and I have done it quite a lot. He loves starting new worlds, but I prefer survival, so once we figured this out, I had him start me in survival often. So we've started something like, I don't know, 200 worlds total. More than that, probably. Only in a couple of years. So, one of the good things about survival, of course, is that, one, you can just fly anywhere. Two, you're basically indestructible. And three, when you hit the controller's the Y button. Other controls I can't tell you. Just not familiar with them. When you hit this button, you have access to literally every block in Minecraft. All the enchanted books, everything. Now, you don't have access to automatically enchanted tools, however. For instance, I'll take a trident, but it's very quick and easy to just grab a trident, grab an anvil, find, oh there we go, Riptide, there's one. Set the anvil down. That's not what I meant to do. Let's try that again. That was funny. There you go. And even though I have no XP, because we're in creative, now you've enchanted your tools instantly with no cost to you. So that is one of the reasons that and most people do a flat world for this, but it's one of the reasons that many players will use redstone. Where's redstone? There we are. That's what I want. I want one of those. And if you hit Y when you select an object, you're actually going to get like a lot. I'll take a lever, and I just need some sort of block. And oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and take a water bucket, and I need just a regular block. Let's do something decorative. Oh, magenta. That's nice and bright. Okay. So let's say you want to test. I need a flat place. That might work. Alright. So something I was working on in my survival world. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The other thing that you can do is that you can also use pick block and pick up any block that currently exists anywhere in the game. Okay. And need to. Okay, good. So, if I can do this right, there we go. Nice and bright. You can pick block any block you see. Which makes it really easy to test some things out. For instance, if you want to test the kind of thing you would use for a semi-automatic wheat farm. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Wow. Breaking blocks is also very easy. Place it, break it. Left button, right button. Very simple. And I need to replace this redstone. Okay. So, but let's say you just wanted to test how effective that's going to be. Oh, well, no, that's not going to be effective, is it? See, right off the bat, that doesn't work. So you need to learn. Now, many of you already know creative, I'm sure. But just in case you don't. But if you wanted to test your semi-automated wheat farm and see if you've made a mistake somewhere, like, oh, leaving the redstone exposed, so that you can turn your water flow on. Oh, but you can't turn it off again. This is what creative is for. It's literally for testing, and it's also for building. And let's see if I can remember which button. Let's see. I might have to have the inventory. Yes, inventory up and then press the back button. Or the, which letter is that? X. Clears your current inventory. That will clear your current inventory, and now you have the option to build. I'm actually sculpting for a hopefully very quick build. So let's say I want to do a little hobbit hole build. Now what I'm actually going to do is pause real quick, and because I find it hard to find things in here, the one thing that sometimes is easier for me is if you just, since you can use pick block very easily, let's say we want to use spruce for this. Okay, so find all the things you think you're going to want to use for your build and set them down so that they're easy to find and do pick block with. Let's say we want, you know, an off color to sort of set things off a little bit. Alright, so we'll put a door, a slab, and you can actually just wherever you want to set your palette up to build with while you're in creative, and that makes it just so much easier. So let's say we want to do, rather than conventional steps, we're just gonna do something like this, so that if I stop flying, there we go. It's easy to walk up, and then we're gonna put and we're just gonna do a very quick job, because this is solely for demonstration purposes. But let's say we want a door that has a window in it, so we'll put one there. We'd like a few flowers, but we don't want anything that's close by, so let's just go over here and grab something like this. Okay, let's say we want to decorate like that. But what if I want daylight? Okay, so there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can go to settings, and since with experiment your cheat you can go to settings, and since you're in creative, your cheats are automatically activated. So you can flip to always day. You can do keep inventory in case you think you're gonna die. You can turn the weather cycle off, mob griefing off, so Enderman doesn't steal any blocks from you. But notice command blocks are enabled. So let's come back. So since command blocks are enabled, if you go to your chat and use the, it means that you have access to all these commands. So there's a whole slew of things that you can do, such as weather and clear, rain, thunder for weather. Actually, I don't need weather, so what was I thinking? But you can also set time. Set, I think is right. Day. And instantly we're back to day. So I'm not going to go into all the commands. This is just the basics creatives. But the one thing's you will take no damage from any mob. And mobs do not seek you out the way they normally do. And you can turn mob grouping, you can turn explosions off if you want. But let's do a little bit more. Let's say we wanted a window in here, and one in here, and I perhaps didn't think this through entirely, but there we go. Okay, so let's just keep with the theme here, and we'll go with, say, green stained glass. And that looks awkward, so we're just going to do that. Cover that up there. Alright. So that'll let you a little bit more light in the interior. And then your decorations are a lot easier as well. You can change the, you have access to everything. So, and the advantage to that is that you can build with blocks that are often hard to get in survival, which is why building is so creative and so much more enjoyable sometimes. So let's say you want, let's do a different floor that's harder to get. So, an impossible to get floor otherwise would be Bedrock itself. Whereas in Creative, you can actually do this. Now this is not comprehensive. This is just a simple guide for people who have never really played with Creative before. So I do hope you enjoy this, and let me know if you don't. And put the door back. Hi, check-in. Do you want to come in? Feel free. But this lets you experiment with a lot of things. Let's get rid of that inventory first of all. And let's play with things like the new honeycomb block. Oh, I wonder if that would make a neat wall. Perhaps we have some sort of wallpaper on this side that's really bright and garish from the 60s. So we have some really odd terracotta here. If you turn this right, they will match up better. I'm horrible at this. No, not that way. That way? No. See, said I was horrible at that part. Anyway. Oh, there we go. So let's say you want to change the look of this entirely, and instead of slabs here, you want to go with something fancier, dark prismarine, which in some cases is much harder to get in survival. In Creative, you have access to that, to all these things. And Creative, you can do a lot of special things and make some really incredible builds. much harder to do in survival. But at the same time, sometimes if you do in survival, you feel more rewarded. Wrong button. Also wrong button. Let me see if I can find the trident again. There. I want to show that one real quick. There you are. Okay. So. And let's do weather. Oh, I know what it is. See, I don't do this often. Okay. Now, where did those creepers get to? No, not that. Spell it right. There we are. Now, hopefully we should see some mobs show up. There we go. Zombie. Looking for a creeper. A creeper. Oh, there's a village. This is actually one of the standard bedrock seeds. I think it's Winding River. And the first one was Forest Glade. If you're interested in knowing what the seeds are, there we are. I see you. Of course. Come on, it's a thunderstorm. There we are. And that was too strong. I killed him. Okay, so something else that's fun to actually play with in creative. Channeling. You don't always get the enjoyment of doing that in survival as easily, and especially when you can just change the weather on a whim. Why are you not there we are. There we go. There we go. We've created a charged creeper. 2 of them. And when they explode, they will explode much more fiercely than a standard creeper. So you can play with things like that you don't normally get to play with very, very easily. And the other thing we can do that is sometimes an advantage in creative. Clear. Okay. Did I make it day? Yes, there we go. Excellent. The other thing that we can do while in creative, since we're flying, okay, it's much easier to find where things are because you can just fly forever. And of course, the higher up, the farther you can see, the farther you can fly. You know, and you can see things like, oh, there's a nice ravine down there I would have missed. Oh, there's a nice little beach to lagoon type area. Something like that. Dark oak. Mr. Jungle. Can I find jungle? Where is jungle? Where's a town I might need? Is that... No, that's more dark oak. But it's mountainous dark oak, which is a bit more rare. And is that a village in dark oak? One or two things about the Nether. You still have to build a portal to get there. Wow. I've never had that good a spawn in the Nether. Nice. You are still indestructible. And you still have access to the full menu while you're in creative. And one of the uh, good things about the Nether is, if you don't have time to spend hunting one of these fortresses down. This is totally by accident. If you don't have time to spend hunting one of these fortresses down, you can hop into the Nether and find one, just not quite so quickly most of the time. Still very funny. That's very amusing. So, but because you can fly, because you can punch right through blocks, you could very easily just, let's see, I don't want to get too far away from our way back, although you can make a portal really easily as well, but it's not that hard to just make yourself a quick tunnel if you really want to, or just fly around. And it's easier in creative than in survival. If you're really experienced with Elytra, you can do that, but in survival you also don't have the problem with being surprised by lava or falling, because even if you do fall, you're still invulnerable. Nice. Alright, let's head back and so if you do want to be a survival builder, but you don't have enough time to spend gathering those resources, this is not true survival, but it's something you can do using creative if you don't need cheats on for your world. But let's see where are the actual logs, stacks of logs. Let's say you just want resources, so let's see, building resources, not so let's just say you wanted to equip yourself with some resources, then clear your inventory, switch your personal game mode back to survival and resume the game. Now you're playing in survival, but you already have a whole lot of material to work with. There you go. And for people who don't have a lot of time to spend hours and hours and hours gathering resources for big builds, but you want to do it in survival, this may be the option. Well, that's probably not everything about creative. That's a lot of the stuff I know. Maybe it helps you a little bit. Maybe it helps you decide which type of player you want to be, whether you want to do creative or survival. But I hope you did enjoy it either way. And if you did, drop me a like, hit that subscribe button and the alert bell for future notifications. Leave me a comment. Let me know what I can do better. But most of all, thank you so much for watching. This is Intrigue.